episode of Indie Thursdays, where we will continue our Bastion playthrough. Let's get this started.
I almost don't believe it when he says he passed the breaker's challenge.
Our Bastion play. Alright. Forgot to mute the dashboard I've got running on my other monitor.
He ain't all that shy.
Yeah, guess got nothing to talk about here. Well, let's see where to. This looks like as good a place as any. The wild outskirts.
The wild unknown. Place can eat a man alive. Place is so raw, even the Calamity couldn't cook it. Not all of it.
Oh, what do we got here?
Know what's better than having a slinger pistol in a fight? Having two. Kid's faster than a slinger with those guns. Savage things lurking at every turn. Pin cushions ain't the worst of it either. Pecker's got the core, like they're building a bastion of their own. The welcoming committee scrambles to attention. Didn't expect the kid so soon.
Shit. There we go. Damn it, don't have a special ability.
They shouldn't have let their guard down. Getting that core was one thing. Getting out's gonna be another. He digs his way out of the clearing, but the wilds won't let him go without a fight. Wallflowers survived the Calamity. It toughened them up. Same goes for the kid. Best take it real slow when pincushions are afoot.
Upgrade item.
Slinger Jawson's old outpost is all that's left of him.
There we go.
Kid sticks to his old standbys.
Damn right I do.
A handful of windbag shipments made it out this far. Kid's seen the last of them. Don't ever turn your back on a pincushion.
Chumps.
Kids roused up half the wild by now. Then kid gets the feeling he's being watched. Not by me, by a lunkhead. And lunkheads ain't fond of two-legged animals. Hit him anywhere but the hindquarters and you only make him mad. Sees a smooth black stone coughed up by the calamity. Be seeing plenty more.
Shit. This thing is giving me more
Leave
trouble than
it
it
to the kid
should
to
be.
make time for stomping swamp weeds.
Nope. Gotta beat this thing. Yeah, where'd it go?
Wild green vine apples, about the only good thing out here.
Ah.
He's anxious to get back. After all, he's got the final core.
Damn
His
right.
journey's over, right? Well, no, it ain't. Not by a long shot.
Dun dun dun! How ominous!
Kid knows something's up when we ain't there to give a warm welcome. See, Zolf and I were just wrapping up a heated discussion. Zolf can barely muster the words. The calamity failed, he says. But I will not. And with that, Zolf leaves us here, alone.
Knew I never should have trusted him.
Zolf cursed the city, cursed the Bastion, cursed me, said he was going home. When Zolf got through reading that journal, he just snapped. Started smashing up the monument till I tried to stop him.
Oh, let's see.
Takes a lot of moving pieces to make a dependable sidearm.
Huh.
Zolf banged up the monument pretty bad. But there's a way to put it back together. The shards. We're gonna need all of them to nurse the Bastion back to health.
Guess I got
The
more
city
stuff to
brought the
collect.
shards to the wilds. Now the kid's gonna bring them back.
Jawson Bog.
After Zolf's little episode, kid sets off in search of shards. First stop, Jawson Bog. You'll get lost in that bog, I told the kid, and I won't be able to guide you back. Well, I let him go. What else could I do? What could any of us do?
Well, buddy, you could have done more than just stand around and talk a lot.
Zolf put us in a real bind. Hurt the Bastion bad.
Guess that's not the way to go. Huh. Nor is that. Oh, there we go.
But the shards can make it better.
Thought that was
They're
something
like smaller
over top.
doses of the core's medicine.
Thought that was something over the path.
Shame the only place to fill that prescription is out here in the wilds. This place is intoxicating.
The wild unknown spanned much of the continent, tempting the city with its mysteries.
Might be gone for good for all I know.
Prosper Bluff.
Wherever he is, it's somewhere I've never been. Somewhere I never want to go. Kid can't fall, no matter how hard he tries. The dead welcome him with open arms. Kid pops him good. That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a lonesome ghost of a gas fella. What do you say to a kid who's seen too much? I'm Zolf of the Ura.
This is interesting. Some sort of dream sequence.
Still, did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds peckers, lunkheads, wallflowers, pincushions, vine apples, swamp weeds, ankle gators.
Shit.
There's no way out. Now the Bastion can send him even farther, into the wild unknown. Kid sets foot inside one of Ceylondia's famous watering holes.
Breaks the hell out of everything.
The security's just gonna have to straighten him out.
Shit.
is where the calamity failed. Would you look at what he did to poor old Ronnie, the bartender? Proper story's supposed to start at the beginning. It's so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world's alright, snoozing there on a rock in the sky. He wakes up. I'm just fooling. He sees what's left of the rippling walls. Years of work undone in an instant. He sees what's left of Pith, the bull. The gods, they're all undone. He sees what's left of his lifelong friend. His friend, he's come undone too. He sees what's left undone.
This all took a strange turn. Okay, where am I supposed to go now?
Thought we'd lost him, but he finally comes to.
Hey, a shard.
The shard ain't lost either. Not anymore. Now to find a ticket out of this hole. Bootlickers dig their nasty thorns into his heels. Ever heard of a lung blossom? It's bigger than the stories say. The breath on that thing, like a scumbag sprung a leak. They say one whiff of lung blossom can make you lose your mind. Well, the kid prunes it down to size somehow.
Well, took that out. What a chump.
Mother only knows what happened in the bog. Kid never much cared to speak of it. A shard is like a poor man's core, but beggars can't be choosers. That's it. A few more shards like that, and we'll be back in business. A single shard can breathe new life into this place.
Let's go find us some more
Bastion
then.
ain't gonna build itself. Well, not entirely. The shard's got enough juice to spruce up any of these places. Seems the gods recommended this place to all their friends. The city tried to use the shards to stake out the wilds. So much for that plan.
To Roethus Lagoon. Folktales say this is where the legendary Ankle Gator Queen resides. Ankle Gator, eh? that doesn't sound too bad.
Roam the wilds, and they nested at Rothes Lagoon. Many a tale folks used to scare their children straight originated here. All kinds of beasts what don't know up from down, still lurking about. They move quick and quiet.
Ah! That's a real good decoy there. Spitting image. Looks just like me.
These beasts, they don't like company. Even the brushers learned to fear this place. They used to think that ankle gators were extinct. Well, they ain't. One of them's been living in the tall grass. They called her Queen Anne. Turns out Queen Anne got a hold of a shard. Ankle gators love shiny things. Know what smells worse than an ankle gator's breath? A stinkweed. Ain't time for pecker hunting, but the kid can't resist.
Hey now, watch that colorful language there.
Without the proper tools. The brushers use their pikes to keep their distance around here. Now the kid can do the same. They say you can't hurt an ankle gator unless it's raining, and it ain't raining. Sharp sticks make Queen Anne nervous, so she backs off a bit. Those pin cushions been living off the ankle gator scraps. Queen Anne can't fit down some of these narrow paths. Queenie leads the kid into some kind of twisted trap. One bad step in that tall grass and he's Queen Anne's lunch. He holds his ground. Seems the queen's running out of options. Still no sign of the shard.
Yeah, go back to that.
Well, the brusher's way ain't really his style. The closer you get to an ankle gator's lair, the thicker the tall grass grows. Kid's gotta make a run for it. Those leaping lunkheads don't like Queen Anne any better than the kid. Queenie must have scared a bunch of peckers out of hiding. Wanna know how to find an ankle gator lair? You use a kid as bait.
Well, cue the boss fight, I guess.
Now she's coming for him. She's got nowhere else to go. The shard's sitting in plain view. They say if you run across an ankle gator, you better keep running. She's starting to get annoyed. He's made her mad. Rest in
and
peace,
down.
Queen. That was for the brushes.
Takes more than some pansy ankle gator to take me down.
Kid's done what needed to be done. Queen Anne's reign is over. We even got a crown jewel. All that trouble for a single shard. But you know what? It was worth it. Ain't saying much, but that's the greatest forge in all the city.
Now I just need materials.
The next shard should be farther out there in the wilds.
Point Lemaine. It's somewhere inside the city's largest outpost in the wild unknown. Well, if there's an outpost there, it can't be that unknown.
Know how Caelondia became the richest city in the world? 2 words. Point Lemaine. If the wilds could ever be tamed, it was gonna happen right here. The army's triggers once had the place on lockdown.
Oh, what do we got here? Army carbine.
Kid might as well pick up where they left off.
Ah, I see.
Point Lemaine seen better days for sure, but it ain't done. whole place shudders in a fit. The Grand Rail of Point Lemaine. Not only is it still there, it still works.
Huh.
Of course, it's no longer shipping hides and alloys and spices, but it can give the kid a lift. Just as long as he can stay clear of the trouble on the tracks. The Grand Rail's all grown over with things of Calamity chewed up and spat out. Things eager to take back their turf. Kid don't want to miss this train. Kid lets a few
need help.
slip by. Not
Shit.
much wiggle room up there near the rail. Lunkheads settled in like they own the place. Takes fancy footwork on the rail, what with wallflowers and coughing fungus everywhere.
Needed that. Shit.
Place used to be closed off, but now it's split open like a rotten pineapple. Of course, the Grand Rail's seen much more fighting in bygone times.
Let's go with hand grenade.
Near on 50 years ago, first shots fired in the Ura-Ceylonian War. It was right here that Zulf's Ura forefathers decided to mix it up.
Assholes.
Okay, so maybe we didn't get their sign-off on the whole Grand Rail thing. That was bad. The rail must have shook the Ura to the bone down in those dens of theirs. Well, the rail won't last much longer now that the kid took the shard. It's still got one good run in store for him, though. All the rotten wood there on the rails turned it into swamp weed central. Ever tried dancing side to side while holding your breath? While shooting a genuine registered army carbine? While choking on swamp weed? While peckers trying to prick you in the eye?
Shit.
Well, let me tell you, it ain't fun.
Shit.
But then, at last, it's the end of the line. He'll be picking swamp weed out of those boots for days. Turns out he's got company up at the rail station, waiting for him. Not just another wallflower or pincushion, mind you. At first, he thinks it's Zulf. Turns out he's wrong. This is for you, says the man. Then wham! When the kid comes to, the man's long gone. But something else is there.
Wonder who the hell that was. Memento, a letter addressed to Zia. It appears to be written by Zulf, who must have found another Ura survivor to deliver the message. Maybe Zulf taught Zia enough the native language to be able to read this.
The only words Kid recognizes on that parchment are for Zia. Well, what's a kid to do? He took the shard, he took the hit, and he took that note. That note cuts straight to the heart of things, don't it? Finding gourmet ingredients ain't easy these days, but we'll take what we can get. The note says it plain. Zia, go east to learn the truth about the calamity and our people. I'll be waiting. Sincerely, Zulf. Zulf's messenger was one of his people. Wonder just how many of them survived, and what exactly Zulf told him. It ain't too late to unlock the potential of this place.
So, what to do, what to do.
We need an awful big lost and found under the circumstances.
Something pointy. The Rusher's pike. Scrap musket. Army carbine. Dueling pistols. Fang repeater. Certain weapon. Ah, another upgrade for the war machete.
Finders keepers. A solid frame can put an extra sting in every slice.
Let's give that a go.
The shards are getting harder to find.
Culford Cauldron. Here it simmers in this here it simmers in this unstable area, which once pierced to the heart of the world.
Not everything blew up in the Calamity. Why, Culford Cauldron here blew up way ahead of its time. The cauldron boiled over some 300 years ago. They say it filled the skies with ash and the lakes with molten rock. If you wanted to survive something like that, you had to learn to adapt. Best to keep out of the cauldrons. It takes a certain stubborn pride to keep on living in a place like this. As for us, we learned an awful lot from Culford Cauldron.
Fire bellows.
That learning led to some interesting inventions. The raw power of the world fell right into our hands. Playing with the cauldron's fires became an addiction. Can't fault our people for their natural curiosity now, can you? Sure, we dusted off a good many secrets out here.
Come on, get back over here.
But we discovered other things we're better off not knowing. The taste of air is so hot it sticks to your lungs. All sorts of awful things crawling underfoot. You can cook those things, but you can't eat them. Never thought we'd find so much life in all that ash.
Lots of items.
We kept on sifting through the cauldron's secrets anyway. It's awful hot in there.
Yeah, I don't really like that weapon. Back to the good old-fashioned machete.
The more ash we swept
Shit.
aside, the more life we found.
I'm pretty terrible at
Place is
not falling off
inhospitable
the
as they
map.
come. But still we pressed on. After all, when we looked down inside Culford Cauldron, Look down through all the smoke and flames. We saw in there the heart of the world. The heart now laid bare by the calamity. We had to have it. As for the kid, he just has to get that shard out of there. Too bad taking that thing woke up every last stink eye from here to Jocelyn Bog. Kid's thinking he's got to trek all the way back around the cauldron. Luckily, the cauldron cooked up a little shortcut for him.
Oh, it sounds good to me.
Sure, it ain't the most convenient path.
Shit. Shit.
Biggest stink eye he's ever seen's waiting for him on the other side. Well, it ain't polite to stare. And where there's one stink eye, there's always more. The cauldron's tenants all gather up to bid the kid a fond farewell. Kid don't shed any tears for him, though.
Shit.
With a good spyglass, you can still see the cauldron from the city, but all the fires died out. There's nothing left of it.
Let's get out of this nightmare.
It comes back looking like the inside of a chimney. The shard
You
works like a
judgmental
charm.
jerk.
You can hear the monument's heartbeat again. The memorial may be finished, but our part is far from over. The breakers, ain't no one can outrun them, or their arrows. We're all a little short on friends these days, so that's a welcome sight. They said the wild could never be tamed, if only they could see us now.
Let's see.
At least it won't get cold round here with that thing around. We spotted a pecker carrying a shard to Mount Zan.
Well, let's climb the mountain.
Can't rightly call Mount Zan the mountain anymore. There's no more mountains now. There's no place left for the beasts of the wild to go.
Well, this is a little bit
Good thing
irritating.
for those beasts the calamity saved leftovers. We only found their little lair because they found themselves a little shard. The creatures of the wild, they've been building a bastion of their own. It's a delicate situation. Best thing we can do for those beasts right now is put them down quick and clean.
Come on. Needed that.
There's only one kind of mercy left these days. What the city left behind, those beasts took for themselves.
Let's see, if I'm giving this a try, then I need a new skill.
Takes a lot of convincing, and our mortars have to do the talking. Look at it this way. It's either them or us. But if we win, they win too. Our Bastion is everybody's game, not just ours.
And down they go.
Unfortunately, there's no explaining that to a simple beast. Those beasts been hard at work fixing up the place. They've rounded up their survivors, just like we have. They've been searching for cores and shards, just like we have. Maybe they've thought about turning back, just like we have. We just really need their shard. Kid got it fair and square. That's the way. He's done what's best for him, don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Now to use another shard.
We'll all be better off once the Bastion is complete. The monument's getting better. Zolf sure did a number on it, though. Kid arrives just in time to sample Zia's famous cooking. The arsenal's complete, in case we need protection.
How does eat? There we go.
He wolfs down too much too fast, and it all goes to his head. I've said a lot about the kid, but he ain't the only one wrapped up in all this.
Another dream sequence.
What's he thinking? Well, let me see if I got this straight. I only heard it once. Now, where were we? Once there was a normal Ura girl, but she wasn't born in the Tassel terminals like the rest of her people. She was from Celandia. Her folks were orphaned in the war, taken in and raised inside the city, on condition they would never return to the terminals. Ura refugees who came into the city had to stay for life. It was a way to reduce the risk of city secrets leaking out. The mama passed away from birthing complications, leaving the girl trapped inside that city with no one but her father.
Tired.
Her father was sharper than a brusher's pike, so he got a job working for the city's mancers. His daughter barely saw him. Her father told her nothing of her Ura heritage. He told her nothing of the mancers. It's for your own good, he said. She took to studying the arts, learned more through music than history books, gained a knack for strings and songs. At
There we
first, she
go.
tried to be
Finally
like
hit
other
it.
girls, but her classmates spread word that her father was an Ura trader, selling out the city. One young man stood up for her, or so he led her to believe. He knew much of her heritage, and she grew fond of him.
on, you big bastard.
Lost my train of thought there.
And
The young
got
man
him.
convinced her to take him to a family den to meet her father. Spoke of how he wanted to meet a man from the terminals. When the young man greeted her father in the Ura's native language, her father flew into a fit of rage and threw them out. Well, I digress.
Shit.
Fixed that thing right up, didn't we? Made these goings-on a little livelier. Suppose it's true a little song can put things in perspective. Just a couple shards left. The quarry's gotta have one, right?
Bastion Quarry. Once there were many such treasures in this key source of Celandia's wealth.
Imagine everything you'd need to build a city like Celandia. It takes hard work and planning, and it also takes Bastion Quarry. The Ura tunnels beneath the quarry must have softened the blow from the calamity. We bought the whole place from the Ura on the cheap. Same goes for its natives. Rattletails. Why would the Ura put up with those pests? Rattletails ain't the worst of it either, but more about that in a little bit. The quarry came with a lifetime supply of windbags. Windbags smaller than the naked eye can see are nesting in those rocks. The quarry ain't exactly up to safety standards no more. Not only are these rocks a source of life, we found that the oldest ones remember things. They're recording everything, all the time, taking it all in. No wonder all those beasts were drawn to the quarry. The rocks were calling them. Keeping the quarry free from pests turned out to be a problem. Rattletails kept tunneling in to snack on windbags. Hard times in the quarry these days.
Didn't even notice my health going down. Shit.
Windbags tended to the rocks, so we had to keep the rattletails at bay. Can't be too careful in there.
Alright. So I can't go this way. There we go.
Now why would the Ura sell off such a fascinating place? Might be the gods told him the quarry's bad news.
Come on.
On top of that, you know the Ura hated anything above ground.
Ooh.
Might be the quarry just got too much sunshine for their liking. In any case, it's fair to say the quarry was a godsend. The Ura always were a superstitious lot.
Shit.
Those rocks, all polished to a mirror sheen.
All right.
The largest ones, you know as cores. smaller ones, we call them shards. A shard's got a fraction of a core's power, enough to fuel a voyage to the motherland.
Come on.
Those rocks won't soon forget this.
Shit.
Just takes 3 things to build the greatest city in the world. It takes hard work and planning, and it also takes a burstone quarry. The Ura tunnels beneath the quarry must have softened the blow from the calamity. Same goes for its natives, rattletails. The quarry came with a lifetime supply of windbags. Windbags smaller than the naked eye can see are nesting in those rocks. Not only are these rocks a source of life, we found that the oldest ones remember things. They're recording everything, all the time, taking it all in. No wonder all those beasts were drawn to the quarry. The rocks were calling them. Keeping the quarry free from pests turned out to be a problem. Without those windbags, the quarry might not have its special qualities. Now, why would the Ura sell off such a fascinating place? The Ura always were a superstitious lot. Might be the gods told them the quarry's bad news. On top of that, you know the Ura hated anything above ground.
Shit.
Might be the quarry just got too much sunshine for their liking. In any case, it's fair to say the quarry was a godsend. Those rocks, all polished to a mirror sheen, the largest ones, you know as cores. Single core could keep the lights on in an entire city district. The smaller ones, we call them shards. A shard's got a fraction of a core's power, enough to fuel a voyage to the motherland. Remember how I said rattletails ain't the worst thing in the quarry?
Shit.
Right honor goes to a beast we took to Colin, Sir Lunky. Massive thing stomped many of our boys. We just couldn't get rid of him. The only thing harder than the rocks in Bastion Quarry is Sir Lunky's head. We never could get stubborn old Lunky to leave the quarry alone.
Oh, wow.
Then the kid hears a voice calling from down the hall. "Are you all right?" it says. It's him.
Fuck.
"I've come to warn you," he says.
You prick.
"The Bastion is under siege. Let it fall. You should not go back." Kid hears him, but he ain't about to be deterred. "If that's the way it is," he says, "then I won't stop you. Because my countrymen will."
His countrymen, eh? The Aura
Say
gonna
what you
attack
will
the
about
Bastion?
Zolf, but he's a man of his word.
Shit.
His countrymen don't much care for pleasantries, though. Too bad for that.
Got one.
Zolf showed him the way here, and here they came to take revenge.
Shit.
They got inside the Bastion and shut the door. Kid's gotta go in through the back. I should have told him sooner about all this. To make matters worse, seems the Ura took the girl. Unfortunately, they broke in, and they started digging their holes. Something wrong sprung out of those holes, and it's eating away at this place. We tried to stop him, but we needed him. Our baby pecker, he don't make it. Our little squirt, he don't make it. Somehow, some way, he sends those Ura packing. Problem is, it didn't matter. Zolf's plan worked.
Shit, they wrecked it. Fucking assholes.
We find each other as the dust settles. Then I tell him why the Ura came. To get us back. For the calamity.
Shit, we
It
did
was
it?
Caelandia's master plan to wipe the Ura out. But part of that plan backfired, didn't it? If only Zolf knew the whole story.
So we're the genocidal maniacs.
What were we to think? They must have got her, taken her back to her rightful home. The shards can put this disease in remission, but there's only one cure. We need to finish what we started. The culture. A still life of old unwanted keepsakes. The mercy. The windbags ain't the only beast that drew a bad lot. I've asked a lot of the kid, but this is something he's done on his own.
Anything to buy that I want?
It wasn't fixed, it was unbroken. Just the occasion to crack open the distillery's private reserve. Black rye is like hot pineapple chowder on a cold day. Brings back memories.
So, what do we got left? Here we go. We're Zendra Gate. Zulf's agents must also want the final shard, knowing it's the key to undoing the harm they caused.
One last shard. It's all we need to put this mess behind us. And mother, what a mess it is. A mess like that could have only been made by hand. Zulf said the calamity failed, and he's right. The Ura stand as living proof of that.
Totally forgot to do some stuff.
At the heart of the calamity was a simple idea. We never wanted to go to war again. Wanted to rule it out. We put a lot of folks against that problem. Scientists, soldiers, spies, even me.
So the bastard
We
knew
sought
all
solutions
along.
far beyond the city. We traveled near as far as the kid's going right now. Most of our efforts didn't bear fruit. Then there was a breakthrough, but it didn't come from one of our people. It came from an Ura, a brilliant young scientist named Ven. Ven worked for the Mancers, the sharpest knives in the city's drawer. With his help, the Mancers devised a way to seal the Ura tunnels shut in a flash. Just like that, every last Ura living in the Tassel terminals will be gone.
Ding.
This discovery was never to be used, they said, except as a last resort. But Ven didn't like being manipulated. He had plans of his own.
So this Ven
He
guy did
sabotaged
it.
the Mancer's little science project, set it to blow up in their faces. Imagine how Ven must have felt when they finally made him pull that trigger. But remember,
Damn.
the Bastion can fix everything.
In a week.
We just need that shard.
Found it. Shit.
Too bad the Ura ain't exactly been willing to collaborate on that front. For now, Kid had little choice but to pick up where the Calamity left off.
Just back to committing some genocide.
First things first, though. There's someone we figured needed rescuing. Zia. The Ura fell back, no doubt planning the next move, but we knew ours already.
Let's see, had something stringy.
Arrows like that can practically find their own way. That's the way to make every shot count. It's no longer a weapon, it's a precision instrument. To fix a brusher's pike, you just need a good length of knife bark.
Ah, got another one unlocked. There we go. Damage resistance.
Bold brandy is thicker than paint. Makes your skin feel as tough as knife bark. There's something we had to do before going after that last shard.
Save Zia!
Well, now it's personal, ain't it? It's personal for him, and it's personal for me. We get straight down to business. They never saw him coming. You gets his hands on the care package I sent him. It's a little something I've been fixing up in my spare time.
This seems like an overpowered
They got
weapon.
their own security and everything. Pretty fancy, even. Still, they ain't used to having visitors around. They've got these conductors that are all what's keeping the place together. Break enough of those things and the Calamity Rocks slink back into the ground. Well, the Ura must be in a panic right about now.
But I do want my bow back.
Kid's done using the Calamity's power for now. But the Ura ain't finished. They even sick their little rattletail pets on the kid. Those rodents are just a bump in the road. By now, every Ura from here to the terminals must know he's in town. Most of the Ura's conductors are squared away in the middle of the hollow. The Ura keep hanging on to that barricade. After all,
Shit.
their homeland's not much farther. Those Calamity Rocks must be eating that place apart from the inside. Maybe they know they've lost this. Lost to a kid. They underestimated us. Had us pegged all wrong. Yes, our people caused the calamity, but here we are trying to fix it. Shame the opportunity for civilized discourse is over. Suppose old Zolf should have got to know us better. Maybe I should have trusted him. told him everything I knew.
So this way?
As the hour grows desperate, the Ura bring out their big guns. There's nothing standing in his way no more. Way out there on the edge of the world, that's where he finally finds you. But it ain't like Prosper Bluff this time. Ain't nothing for this gal to sing about now. Zia, you weren't kidnapped. No, ma'am. You just had to see what happened to the Ura. To your own people.
Ah, she went with them
willingly. You had to see
willingly.
if everything Zolf wrote to you was true.
It's gotta be painful. Always falling face first like that.
Sure you didn't drop that twangy thing on purpose? Just to see if he'd go after you?
Wonder. Don't think I can upgrade that. No? I mean, there is a slot there. Maybe I just haven't found the material. Maybe I can buy it. Calamity cannon skill. There we go.
The country. She's all to pieces now, but still looking good. The conscience. We haven't lost everything, long as we have that. The sanctuary. If we can build, we can rebuild.
That last one. Upgrade the Calamity Cannon. Rockets cause knockback. Rockets will not launch automatically.
First step to learning the Calamity Cannon is knowing about the machinery overrides. Now, who would have taught a kid to do a thing like that? Good thing I didn't throw away the manual.
Switch to that. The Mancer
If there's
vessel.
anything that blade can't split open, a cannon ought to do it. Once the kid gets that last shard from Zolf, it'll all be over.
The Tazal terminals. He bides his time within. The remains of Aura's massive underground sprawl. Once you enter this area, there is no turning back. Are you ready? Damn right I am. Let's do this shit. Leroy Jenkins.
I can't hear him at all anymore. He's too far away. but he'll be alright. Just needs to get that shard from Zulf and come on home.
Well, seems nobody can survive a Calamity Cannon shot to the face.
The Calamity hit the Tazzle terminals hardest of all. You know why Zulf went back there. The place was his home. All his old friends and family were there. Taken by the Calamity. Zulf must be there all alone, just waiting. You know what's funny? Zulf's waiting. We're waiting. All we can do is sit and talk.
Bye-bye.
All of us are waiting for a kid.
Seriously, this weapon's damn OP.
Look around. There's not much left to do here in the Bastion, I'm afraid. So why not tell each other stories to pass the time, right? But Zia, there's another reason I've been telling you all this. When the kid brings back that shard, the Bastion will be complete.
Well, that was powerful.
This disease the Earth planted here will go away. Caelondia will be whole again.
Shit.
Everyone will be alright. Everything will be back to normal. Problem is, we'll all be gone.
Ah. So that's what'll happen.
Oh, we're not gonna die. It's more like all of this will just stop.
So is the Bastion going to reset the world or something like that?
Things will go back to the way they used to be. That's the power of the Bastion. This whole place is a living record of the times before the Calamity, the way things were before this story. You follow me? You be your old self again.
Takes some getting used to jumping in this game.
times that didn't go your way.
Oops.
All of life's little setbacks. Imagine if you could have another go at them. No mistakes. Anyone you've ever heard. Everything you've ever done, you could do it over. And wouldn't that be grand? Wouldn't you agree? Well, I guess there's nothing more to say. Who am I kidding?
Okay, where do I go?
Look. There's something else. A confession. How come I know so much about the Bastion?
It's killing my hand. Because he built it, perhaps? It only makes sense.
Well, I designed the place. But
Yep,
that's beside the point.
called it.
There's one problem with a place that sets things back to a bygone time. You can't test it. So you're probably wondering if the calamity happened already. What's to stop it from happening again after the Bastion does its thing? The answer is, I don't know.
Ah, my left hand is killing me right now.
You're wondering if there ain't some other way out of this mess. It's alright. I can tell. But why would you even want another way? Unless you wanted to stay here with us. Well, that's sweet and all, but I don't know if I can stick around. The weight of the calamity. It's on our shoulders. We can't just let it go. Bastion does have another function, strictly speaking.
Well, this thing's kinda slow.
If ever the monument blew out and we couldn't repair it, we could still evacuate. First, we'd round up as many folks as we could carry. Next, we'd detonate the cores, and we'd take off away from here.
Well, this thing's powerful. Powerful and incredibly silly.
Of course, that would mean no going back. Ever. But then again, that way all of us could leave the city. Together. You know Zolf and his countrymen won't be giving up that shard without a fight, don't you?
Call that a fight?
Zolf and the Ura, all they want now is to see the Bastion fall. Zolf dedicated his life to a lasting peace between the Ura and Caelondia. He can't have imagined the city would try to wipe the Ura out. Zolf ain't lost every shred of decency, though, has he? He tried to warn you about his plans. He tried to warn the kid.
Damn it. Quit teleporting around.
For Zolf, this ain't a personal matter. It ain't a simple matter of pride, either.
Defeated. You are no match for my
One thing's
ram
for sure,
pillar.
The Ura can't be happy that the kid followed Zolf all the way home.
To save him or to leave him? You know what? Fuck him.
Kid saves off once, but I don't think he'd make the same mistake. I wouldn't. Don't you worry, though. Once the Bastion's restored, it'll all be alright. You ain't still thinking about that whole leaving the city thing, are you?
No health bar anymore. I imagine this is quite tough if I choose to take Zolf with me.
Kid's probably dealt with Zolf by now. He reminds me of myself when I was his age. I ever tell you about those days?
With the fate of the Bastion out of his hands... Yeah.
Hey, kid. Get up, kid.
Come on, get your arse up.
Come on, that ain't funny. I say get up. That's more like it. Now, set that shard into the monument there. Then we'll talk. The Bastion. It's finally finished. Now, there's something I want you to see.
Alright, let's see what happens now. I probably get a choice.
Welcome to the heart of the Bastion. I ain't one for long goodbyes, so here's the deal. Zia and I figure you done the heavy lifting, so you get to do the honors. We can tell you how to work this thing if you got any questions. Hey, kid. You can undo the calamity here and now. Go on, kid. And before I forget, thank you.
You made it. So, let's see. You can either prevent the calamity, or stick around with me and Rex. I'd hate to be in your shoes.
Let's prevent the calamity. Let's save the world.
It's finished. Now, sit tight. It'll be over soon. No matter what happens next, you're done good. I suppose all that's left is to try and remember this moment. The Bastion's gonna take us back to a better time before any of this. Might be we'll forget everything you've done, and each other. Though after all we've been through, I find that hard to believe. So long, kid. Maybe I'll see you in the next one. Zealandia, we're coming home.
Well, I guess that's that. Roughly a 4-hour game. I really liked it. It's fun, plenty of customization, different weapons and that, an interesting story. Really like the whole narration thing, too. Rock's narrating your every move. Gorgeous art. Good soundtrack, too. Oh, is that it for the music? Oh, here we go. Well, I think this is as good a time as any to end it. Thank you to everyone who tuned in, and have yourself a good night.